Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Unfog with Dr. Attahar Parveen. In this video, let's continue to discuss GPSTR 2022 PM method question paper. See, as per the question paper pattern, you have both multiple choice questions and also you should write answers in the descriptive manner. So you will not only have 1 mark multiple choice questions, but you will also have 2 mark questions, 3 mark questions and also 4 mark questions in GPSTR. Okay, so in this class we are going to discuss the descriptive part questions, specifically talking about the 2 mark questions. So how are you going to write the descriptive answers in your exam for GPSTR specifically? See, you will have physics questions, you will have chemistry questions, you will have biology questions. This all comes from science part, and also you will have maths questions for 2 marks, 3 marks and 4 marks also. So for a science part, it is very simple. If you have a 2 mark question, then you should make sure to write at least 2 points for that answer, right? If you have a 3 marks, make sure to write at least 3 points, and if you have 4 marks, make sure to write at least 4 points, and wherever needed you have to draw the diagrams for 3 marks and 4 marks questions. Okay, so this is about science. It is very simple, right? But for maths, you will have to follow whatever the procedure for that particular solution, right? Even if it is a 2 mark question, 3 mark question or 4 mark question, you have to make sure to include all the steps in solving that particular problem for mathematics, right? So that's why we cannot say that every time 2 marks questions will require only small answer. Like that we cannot say for mathematics. Okay, so we will talk about this eventually while discussing the questions. So basically, as per the GPSTR 2022 PM method question paper, we have 8 mathematics questions for 2 marks. So 8 into 2. Total you will have 16 marks for 2 marks descriptive type questions in mathematics for PM method. Okay, of course you will have mathematics for CB method also, but there they will put more stress on science part for CB method, but you will have maths questions also in descriptive part. Okay, so that we will discuss while discussing the CB method question paper. Now let's talk about the PM method 2 mark questions. So in the previous class we finished all the multiple choice questions till question number 50. Now 2 marks questions start. So the first question here will be question number 51. So here you can see that you have 8 questions for 2 marks each. So total you will have 16 marks for 2 marks questions. Okay. So the first question, it is from mensuration part. The question is, if the volume of a right circular cone of height 9 cm is 48 pi centimeter cube, find the diameter of its base. So how does a right circular cone look? It will be like this, right? Something like this, right? So in this cone they are telling that the height is 9 centimeter and they are telling that the volume for this cone is 48 pi centimeter cube. You have to find the diameter of the base. Means you have to find this part. So for this you should be knowing the formula related to our volume, because they have given volume of the cone and height here. So the formula is volume is equal to 1 by 3 pi r square h, right? So here now I can directly substitute the values because they have given volume as 48 pi here, right? And then we have height which is 9 centimeter. If I find out the radius, then I can easily find out the diameter, because diameter is always twice the radius, right? So here my pi will get cancelled. Before 3 3s are 9. So I got 48 is equal to 3r square. So with this I will have 3r square is equal to 48 and r square is equal to 48 by 3. So 3 1s are 3 6s are. So my r is equal to square root of 16 or 4 centimeter. This is my radius. So the diameter will be equal to 2 times radius. So my final answer will be equal to 8 centimeter. So how do you write the mathematics solution here for 2 marks? First point, you have to write whatever is given in the question. That is your first step. Second step is write the formula. Third step is substitute and do simplification. After getting the radius, your fourth step is that you are writing the final answer. So if you have more patience or if you have little time, then you can also write one sentence below. So the diameter of the base of the given cone is equal to 8 centimeter. Writing this line in the end is not very important. It's well and good if you can write, but if you don't write also, there is not much big deal, because that time you are consuming in solving the next problem. Okay, clear, right? Next, question number 52. It is an arithmetic progression question. The 17th term of an arithmetic progression is 7 more than the 10th term. Find its common difference. So by now you know everything about arithmetic progression. We have discussed it in the multiple choice questions classes also. So here they have given that the 17th term is 7 more than the 10th term, which means that you have this formula an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into t, and here it is clear that they are talking about the 17th term and the 10th term. So using this formula you can write down the 17th term and you can also write down the 10th term. Right, an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. So what will be n here for a17? It will be 17, right? 17 minus 1 will be 16d. For a10, what will be n? It will be 10, right? 10 minus 1 will be 9 into d, right? Now, whatever they have given condition in the question, they have told that the 17th term is 7 more than the 10th term. So using this condition, you have to substitute their right hand side values from this and this, and then just to find the common difference. Okay, so our final answer here has to be 1. So if you write so much, you are going to get full 2 marks. Okay, clear, right? It is very easy, but the thing is that you should understand what is the condition. If you understand this story, then your answer is going to be correct for sure. Okay, clear, right? Next, question number 53. It is from linear equations. They are telling to solve 8x plus 3y minus 13 is equal to 0 and 6x plus 5y minus 18 is equal to 0 by cross multiplication method. So friends, here I want to tell you one very important thing. In our multiple choice questions, method is not important. What is important here? Final answer will be important. Whatever method you have used, no bothers at all, because 4 multiple choices will be given. You have to choose one which will be your final answer, no matter how you have reached to that particular answer, right? Whatever method you have used. But in descriptive part, if they have mentioned the method, then you will have to use that particular method. If you don't use that particular method, then your answer will be wrong. You will not get marks for that particular answer. You understand my point, right? So for descriptive part, you should learn all types of methods, especially in linear algebra. Okay. So now let me tell you how to use this cross multiplication method. See, first of all, write the linear equations which have been given in the question. It is 8x plus 3y minus 13 is equal to 0. Another one is 6x plus 5y minus 18 is equal to 0. Right. Now, in order to cross multiply, there is one particular procedure that I will tell you. You have to watch carefully. First, write down the coefficients of the one below the other like this. 8, 6. Then write down the coefficients of y. 3, 5. See, make sure to write their signs also. If there is a negative sign, you have to write minus there. Okay. Then write the constants here, one below the other. Okay. You have to follow the order. Again, in the fourth column, write 8 and 6. Right, the first thing what you have written now, that you have to write here. Okay, now write x, y here, write 1 here. Why I am telling you means here I have one procedure, the formula x divided by is equal to y divided by is equal to 1 divided by. So below x what you have to write means you have to write 3 into minus 18 minus 5 into minus 13. So basically you have to cross multiply. Okay, you have to write the denominators from the second line, not from the first line. That's why I wrote x here. Okay, so like this. So I have 3 into minus 18 minus 5 into minus 13. Then below y, where you have to start from? From the third line you have to start like this. That's why I wrote y here. So this part I have written just for your reference so that you don't make any mistake. This is just for your reference to use here in the procedure. It is from the numerators from this procedure. Okay. So now below y what you will write in the denominator? Minus 13 into 6 minus 8 into minus 18. Right. And this is equal to 1 divided by, now you go for this first line like this, right? See, I am explaining, that's why it is taking time for me. But if you understand the concept, you can do it within less time only. Okay. So now go on simplifying so that you will get value of x and y. So x divided by 18 3s are 34 minus 34 plus 65. Here y divided by 13 6s are 78 plus 18 8s are 144 is equal to 1 divided by 40 minus 18. Right. So here I will have x by 11, here I will have y by 66, here I will have 1 by 22. So now I can easily find out my x value, right? X by 11 is equal to 1 by 22, which implies x is equal to 1 by 2. Like that only, y by 66 is equal to 1 by 22, which implies y is equal to 3. 66 will go in the numerator in the right hand side, right? So x value is 1 by 2, y value is 3. If you have doubt, you can do verification. How you do verification? You can substitute the value of x and y in any one linear equation and your left hand side should be equal to right hand side. Okay. Take it as an assignment, verify and tell me whether our answers are correct or no. If you have still more doubt, you can do some other procedures which are there to solve linear equations. The simple procedures are also there. That also you can do and finalize your answer. But you can do only that if you have time. Don't waste time doing all that if you are sure of your answer. Okay, clear, right? See, this is a lengthy procedure. It is taking little time, but still you are going to get 2 marks for this answer. That's why I tell that in mathematics we cannot predict which problem will be small for how many marks. You never know, even 4 marks answer also may have few steps, but those steps may be difficult to learn maybe, or it may have 2-3 formulas. You never know. You cannot judge about that. You cannot predict about that in mathematics. Okay, clear, right? Next, question number 54. In triangle PQR, angle Q is 90 degree. PR plus QR is 25 centimeter and PQ is 5 centimeter. Find the value of sine R. So clearly this is a right angled triangle where you can apply trigonometry, where you can apply Pythagoras theorem. Right. So here using the Pythagoras theorem, the square of the hypotenuse will be equal to, see what is the hypotenuse here? PR, right? So this is our hypotenuse. The square of this will be equal to PQ square plus QR square. Right. So we don't know what is the value of QR here. We don't know what is the value of PR here. So that's why let us consider that QR is equal to X. So that if this is X, as per the question, PR plus QR is equal to 25. So that's why with this, my PR is going to become 25 minus QR, but I put QR as X. So my PR is going to become 25 minus x. Right. So now I apply the Pythagoras theorem. Substitute PR as 25 minus x whole square. PQ is a 5 centimeter which they have given in the question. So that I'll substitute, and QR is x which I assumed. Then if I go on simplifying, I will get the value of the hypotenuse. Why do I actually want the value of the hypotenuse in solving this problem? Because in the question they are asking us to find sine R, means this angle. So for angle R, what is the hypotenuse here? PR only, right? And what is the opposite side? PQ, right? Why do I want opposite side? Because for sine R, it is opposite side by hypotenuse. What is the opposite side here for angle R? It is PQ, right? So PQ by PR will give me the final answer. In case they are asking cos R, at that time I will have to take adjacent side by hypotenuse, right? What is the adjacent side for angle R? It is QR, right? So it is x divided by what is hypotenuse? It is PR, right? So what is the value of x? That you will have to know in order to find the value of cos R, right? What is the value of x we got here? It is 12, right? So 12 divided by 13, that will be the value of cos R here. Okay, clear, right? For sin R, it is 5 by 13. So this is how you have to apply the concepts and find the answer. So in this particular problem, you are using two formulae. One is related to Pythagoras theorem, another one is related to sin R. Next, question number 55. The length of the minute hand of a clock is 14 centimeter. You have to find out the area swept by the minute hand in 15 minutes. In 15 minutes means 1/4, means the angle will be 90 degree here. So the area swept by the minute hand in 15 minutes we have showed you here in the shaded portion. So for the entire clock it is 60 minutes, so angle will be 360 degree. For 15 minutes it will be 90 degree. And what about the radius? They have told that it is 14 centimeter. So here if you imagine, it is like a circle which is having a sector. So area of the minor sector will be equal to, the formula is there, right? Theta upon 360 into pi r square. So what is theta here? It is actually 90 degree. That is only our theta, right? So what about the radius? They have given it in the question only, it is 14, right? So substituting, you will get the area of the minor sector. So that is actually the area swept by the minute hand in 15 minutes. So don't think that you are not using 15 minutes here. You have found the theta value by the 15 minutes only, right? If they were telling 30 minutes in the question, then what your theta would be? It would be 180, right? If they were telling 45 minutes, then your theta would be 270, right? So that way you have to correlate and find the answer. Clear, right? Next, question number 56. PA, PB and TQ are tangents drawn to a circle as shown in the figure. If PA is 10 centimeter, find the perimeter of triangle PTQ. So here they have drawn the tangents. Indirectly they have given you clue, because the tangents which are drawn from the same point outside the circle will be equal, right? So here all this is equal. TA is equal to TR, RQ is equal to QB, right? Because here the same points they have used to draw those two tangents. So remember, tangents from an external point are equal. So here as per the question, PA will be equal to PB. That is also clear only because see, now these two tangents PA and PB are also drawn from the same points. So here in the question only they have told that PA is 10 centimeter. So that's why PB also will be 10 centimeter. Rest I have told you that TA and TR will be equal, QB and QR will be equal. So now it has become very easy for us to find out the perimeter of the triangle PTQ. What is the perimeter of that triangle PTQ now? See, this is the triangle now, right? P, T, Q, right? So here you have little more and here there is a circle, right? So now this PTQ perimeter will be PT plus TQ plus QP, right? But in place of PT, I can write PA minus TA, right? Because this entire thing is equal to PT plus TA, right? So that way I will utilize this funda for all these three things. Now see, this TA is equal to TR, right? So this will get cancelled. QB is equal to QR, right? So that's why this and this will get cancelled. So what all is remaining? PA is remaining and PB is remaining. So we write PA plus PB and we know that is equal to 10 centimeter. So if I add up, I'll get 20 centimeter. So perimeter of this triangle PTQ is 20 centimeter. So just you have to play around here by substituting the tangents and the lengths there. Next, construction question. For 2 marks they are asking. Construct a triangle ABC with AB is equal to 6 centimeter, angle ABC is equal to 60 degree and angle ACB is equal to 75 degree. So make sure that when they are telling you to construct a geometrical figure, you should also write the construction. Okay, so you need to learn to write the construction. Whatever method you are using to draw that particular figure, that only construction you have to write. What all always the protocol of writing the construction? First you write the given, then you write the steps. Okay, then so much is enough. Now from this part to this part, this I am giving you for your reference to understand. Okay, or you can write here only. Thus the triangle is constructed or something like that, you can write to end your answer. Okay, so now first take this line AB 6 centimeter you have to draw, then at A you have to construct 45 degree, then at B you have to construct 60 degree, then one another angle automatically it is going to be 75 degree, because it is not easy to draw 75 degree directly. So that's why what we are going to do is, some of the angles of a triangle is 180 degree, right? So other two angles are 60 degree and 75 degree, right? So I'm going to subtract them and I get 45 degree. So using this funda, I will construct 45 degree and 60 degree, which is easy for construction. 75 degree is not easy. So that's why using these two angles, if I construct a triangle, obviously my third angle is going to be 75 degree, because 45 degree plus 60 degree plus 75 degree is going to be equal to 180 degree. Okay, clear, right? Now you may ask, madam, how to construct 45 degree and 60 degree? It is very easy. I will show you. For 45 degree, first you have to construct a perpendicular, construct a 90 degree angle. Then again for that entire 90 degree, you have to bisect again to get angle 45 degree. For 60 degree, what you have to do? It is very simple. For 60 degree, you don't need to construct 90 degree and all that. For 60 degree, directly half of the length you have to take the, less than half of the length you have to take the radius, and then you put the compass here. Draw this big arc. Then put the compass here, cut this arc. Okay, you get one point, right? For that point, you have to join the line. That will give you 60 degree. Okay, clear, right? So this is your 60 degree. So I have showed you how to draw 45 degree and 60 degree. Using this, you have to draw the triangle which I showed you for previous question. Okay. Next, another construction question. So this is the last question for 2 marks. Draw a circle of radius 3.5 centimeter and construct two tangents such that angle between them is 60 degree. So you have to construct two tangents such that the angle between them is 60 degree. So at this point you should be knowing this very important theorem which says that angle at the center is equal to 2 times angle at the circumference, right? If we talk about the same arc. So you can draw it like this. How you are going to draw? See, first at the center you can draw one radius, okay, of the 3.5 centimeter, because they are telling in the question that it is 3.5 centimeter, right? At that radius, you can keep the protractor and find a 120 degree. You can construct. Why I am telling 120 degree? Because they are telling that the angle between the tangent should be 60 degree. So at the center, if it is 120 degree, then only it is going to be possible, right? So this point you have to understand here and construct 120 degree. Once you construct two radii with angle 120 degree between them, then again you can construct one perpendicular bisector at B, one perpendicular bisector at A, and then join those two bisectors, the perpendicular lines, to meet at point P, which will give you the tangents. So PB and PA are the required tangents here. You understand my point, right? See, for 2 marks they are asking this type of construction. So you should be thorough with the simple logics and simple theorems. Okay friends, clear, right? So by this the 2 mark questions ends here. In the next class, let us start 3 marks questions. So make sure to share this class as much as possible among your friends and other GPSTR aspirants. So this class is also going to be useful for other teacher recruitment exams aspirants like TET and HSTR as well. Okay friends, and if you have not joined our Telegram channel and Telegram group, you can join. You will get the link in the description below this video. And if you are interested to take our paid classes, then you can contact us via Gmail, or you can also message us in WhatsApp. Okay, thank you. All the best. Bye.